Now everybody's saying that we should be dropping bombs over there. We should be arming rebels. We should be getting ourselves all embroiled over there. Are you in favor of passing out weapons to people we can't even vet over there? What is your response to this crisis? What do you think we should be doing over there?
I've said for a long time, I think we need to arm the rebels. Absolutely, we need to
vet them. How do you vet them? How do you vet them?
Well, we have been betting them on the ground in Jordan. I think the fallacy in this discussion is that somehow if we hand out arms to the rebels, then arms will end up in the wrong hands. That ship has already sailed. There are arms in all the wrong hands already. We've got Hezbollah, which is the most sophisticated, most armed militia in the world today. We've got the Iranians arming. We've got the Russians arming.
So you're actually making my point, which is that adding more weapons to weapons, dumping more military hardware into a situation like this is likely to backfire. We've already done this before. Aren't you afraid of blowback and backlash? We already have done this before in Afghanistan with the Russians before.
Saying we've already done this before doesn't make it a bad idea. Arming the people who don't have weapons, arming the people who we vet, who are the better guys on the ground, will enable us to at least see the balance tipped. We need to see better guys take the sides against al-Qaeda. We need to see Assad out of power. I'm less worried about arms in the wrong hands than I am about terrorists flowing throughout the Middle East and coming here.
Do you agree with this?
Well, I think, I don't have personal knowledge of this, but judging by what I've read, I think it's pretty clear we are arming the opposition already. And I think what we need to be clear about is what arming means. Small arms are obviously going in, and a lot of our partners in the region are doing the same. But if you're talking about man-pads, a rocket that could take down an Israeli plane landing in Jerusalem, that's a huge problem. And you've heard people like Marty Dempsey come out and say he's opposed to those sorts of large weapons. So this is a matter of degree. I agree with you that more needs to be done, and I think the president has signaled his frustration. I think the question I've always asked in my time in government and my time since is what exactly is this sort of panacea solution that people see out there for those who say to the president, just lead, just do more?
Well,
Tommy,
it's not a panacea. There are a number of prescriptions that the president seems to have denied in favor of splitting the baby in Syria, in favor of talking tough, but not really committing us to a lot of action. And those kinds of decisions have consequences. Even if you thought that diplomacy with people like Vladimir Putin and Bashar al-Assad was possible, it hasn't worked. So what now? What are no one's asking for a panacea.
Sure.
What are the kinds of tough decisions the president's willing to make now to change the course in Syria?
I think, well, first of all, the president has to make the tough decisions that we will never have to decide between. This is a tragic situation. The reports of the humanitarian situation, children being killed, they are horrific. And they break your heart and they break his heart. But he also has to look at the moms and dads of service members who go into war and are killed there. So he makes the real call. We don't get to. We get to pontificate. So the things I think he's already doing are arming the opposition, increasing humanitarian assistance to those who are affected. I think they're up to $1.7 billion. Increase the diplomatic pressure on recalcitrant parties like the Russians and others. Clearly, the U.S. wants to do more. We need to do more. We need to remember that meaningful action is being blocked by Russia, by China at the Security Council, and that's the reality of the situation right now.